Så idag är det måndagen den 20 maj och jag har den stora äran att få presentera Makey Makey och Derek som är en av utbildarna på Makey Makey. Och vi kommer ha lite fokus runt nyheterna på Makey Makey som kallas för Backpacks och se vad det är för någonting. Förhoppningsvis kommer du ha stor glädje och nytta av detta. Mitt namn är Magnus Wallenborg och jag är representant för Abas School AB och vi säljer och även supporterar på allt det här materialet. Så, och vi kommer också naturligtvis köra det här på engelska för Derek är med oss direkt från Portland, USA. So I'll let you in now, Derek. It's a very pleasure for us to have you here on board today on this webinar. And we're going to focus this on Makey Makey and the news things. So I hope you will share some good experience how to use it in the classroom in the best way.
Yeah. So we're going to go over today just really quickly, Makey Makey, and then a couple of the different backpack options and accessory options. And then I'll demonstrate how to use backpacks, and we'll even dive into a little bit on the Kodaki backpack, which uses the microbit. The one thing with Makey Makey is that it's hard to demonstrate on screen like this and not in person because it's something that controls my computer. So bear with me if things go a little wonky, but
Okay.
we'll explore it. So I'm going to share my screen and some slides, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, perfect.
Oh, okay. So Makey Makey is the invention kit for the 21st century. So we don't see it as a circuit board or a computer. It is an invention kit. And it invents by replacing your keyboard keys with conductive or random, seemingly random objects like bananas or Play-Doh, and we'll use some Play-Doh later. So again, keyboard keys and mouse clicks, Makey Makey acts like your keyboard and mouse. So if when you plug it into your computer, it actually shows up as an external keyboard and mouse. But instead of your spacebar or arrow keys that you would use on a keyboard, you can explore and use different materials and different circuits to invent your own spacebar or arrow keys. So each key is actually a switch. So if we were to take apart the keyboard in front of me or in front of you, there would be little tiny switches all over the place. They're little buttons. So my WASD keys, I can pop those off if I wanted to break my keyboard, and it would be the same type of circuit under there as you would find on a Makey Makey. And it looks something like this, where a switch can open and close a circuit. So current flows from the battery through the switch to the light bulb. And if I open that circuit, in other words, I break that circuit, the light bulb doesn't turn on. If I close the circuit or turn it on, that light bulb will turn on because the current flows from the plus side of the battery through the switch, through the light bulb, and to the negative side or ground side of the battery. Makey Makey works the same way. So here's a demonstration of a switch. So you can see the Makey Makey, the little lights lighting up for the space bar, showing that it's being pressed. But Makey Makey allows you to create your own switches, and this is basically a paper clip and some brass fasteners, and just alligator clip to the Makey Makey, and you can make your own space bar. And from here, use the invention kit to make more and more elaborate inventions. So the idea again is a bridging concept with Makey Makey. So we can connect earth or ground to the different keys, and I'm just going to play this. So this is how it works, is that I can connect earth and a key via different conductive materials. So I can connect it via myself. So I'm conductive as a person because I'm made up of a lot of water and some salts. But I can also use some coins. I can use tin foil. I can use a number of different materials to connect between earth or ground and that key and complete that circuit. Makey Makey is really easy to set up. It plugs in via USB. So you just use your USB cable, plugs into your computer, and then you can start building circuits. There's no software install. There's no plugins or anything like that that you need to download for your browser, and it works with Chromebooks and desktop computers. Things to know about Makey Makey. Again, it's suitable and tested for ages 8 and over. It's a really good. We're basically the on-ramp for STEM education when it comes to electronics and computer programming. And it promotes creative confidence and engages in learning. Like I said before, it works on Chromebooks, Windows, Mac, so on and so forth. It does work with an iPad, but with an adapter, so that's a special circumstance. But with a USB adapter, you can use it with an iPad. No installs or licensing, so once you purchase a Makey Makey, it will work with anything with a USB port. And no coding experience required. Right out of the box, you can start exploring with our free apps, and I'll talk a little bit more about those in a moment. So our Makey Makey comes in 2 different formats. One of them is our classic, which is a single kit. And the other one is our invention literacy kit, which is a class set that has a couple of more things for the classroom, as well as comes with a curriculum book for the teacher to get started right away. Again, the classic comes with the circuit board, the cable, and everything you need, including the little alligator clips. And then the invention literacy kit comes with a little extra stuff, the extra long alligator clips for making bigger inventions, some conductive graphite pencils, and an educator's guide, which is that curriculum book. Over the past couple of years, we've rolled out a couple of accessories, 2 booster kits, which are essentially materials kits. There are a lot of, some office supplies materials that you might see in office supply stores, but also some hard to find materials like conductive fabric or conductive tape that are wonderful for building inventions and controllers for your students. The other one is the backpack bundles. So we'll go over this in a moment, but the backpack bundle is 3 backpacks that come in 1 box with some extra alligator clips, and we'll go over what a backpack is in a moment. Again, a little bit close up of the Craft and Code kit and the Get Up and Go. So the 2 different accessory kits, materials designed for different projects. So Craft and Code are more cardboard, desktop size materials for building more craft projects. Whereas Get Up and Go is designed, it has like a lot of long wires. It's designed for projects that are getting up and moving around. So like a really big floor piano or a push-up counter, things like that. And I'm gonna get off the slides for a moment and share my desk here, and we'll go over what the backpacks are and things like that. So we'll do a quick unboxing. Okay, so this is the Makey Makey Classic kit. Comes with instruction sheet, Makey Makey sticker just for your water bottle or bumper or desk, and then here's the Makey Makey itself. And we'll go over a little bit about what this is. So the Makey Makey is a circuit board. So you have the front and back, and the front, and I'll bring this down, has conductive touch pads. So there's earth along the bottom. And then what we want to do is be able to connect or complete a circuit between earth and your arrow keys, up, down, left, right. You have the space bar and mouse left click. So you have all 6 of these on the front that are easy to use with alligator clips, which are these wires. We provide 7 of them. And then on the back is where the magic happens for the Makey Makey in terms of its backpacks. So we have these 6 keys and the mouse controls. On the back, we provide more keys and a lot more mouse control. Let me see if I can zoom in just a little bit more. So you might be able to see it, but we have W, A, S, D, F, G on this. So we have a whole 6 more keys that we can use for the keyboard. And then on the right side, we have mouse controls of mouse movement, up, down, left, right, as well as mouse right and left click. So you have 6 mouse controls there as well, for a total of, if you use the front and the back, 18. But you'll notice that the back connectors are a little different than the front, so you can't alligator clip to these. And originally our kit came with just some stripped wire. And these wires can plug into the back, and you can use these just fine if you wanted to. But we found that younger students had a hard time, and to be honest, older students had a hard time using these wires. And so what we did is we invented the Makey Makey Backpacks. So this backpack bundle is 3 backpacks in one. And I'll open this. Another Makey Makey sticker, get that out of the way. But it's 3 backpacks, and I'm going to go over these individually here. First one is we call it Player 2. Player 2 is your WASD, F, and G keys. So what we've done is we've taken the backpack, and the backpack, like its name says, it goes on the back of the Makey Makey. So it plugs into the headers that we were just looking at. And now it takes those really hard to use connectors and breaks them out to something that we can clip to with our alligator clips. So now I can, if I want to use the A key, I can just use the alligator clip and connect directly to it and connect to Earth and create a connection there. So it makes using the back of the Makey Makey and the Makey Makey to its fullest a lot easier for all students. So we have Player 2, like I said, was WASD-FG. The reason those keys are chosen is because they are some of the original keys for navigating older computers. We use them a lot in gaming as well. So if you're playing something like Minecraft, that is actually the navigation or movement keys that are used in that game, as well as a number of other games. We can take this off. So that's Player 2. Next one up is Makey Mouse. And I'll plug this in. And Makey Mouse controls all of the mouse side of the Makey Makey. So you have now mouse movements, up, down, left, right, left click and right click. And that makes it much easier to make your own custom mouses or mice. Yeah, mice. Wonderful projects come out of mouse controls for those students that have a hard time or have a certain disability that they can't use a computer with their or use a mouse and have that fine dexterity movement. And so one of the design challenges and invention challenges we do with students is the idea of having an accessibility project. So they come up and design a mouse or controls for specific students. So that Makey Mouse is the second backpack, gives you mouse control over it. And the last is Makey Max. And Makey Max is all of the back controls in one backpack. So this gives you all of your keyboard keys on one side, all of your mouse control keys. So here you have all 18 keys of the Makey Makey alligator clip accessible. So that is the backpack bundle. Comes with extra alligator clips, so you can use all of them. And then let me see if I can go back to the sharing the slides here. So one of the things that we have been working on in terms of Makey Makey is how do we integrate in physical invention in terms of circuit building, physical construction, and then computer programming into our products. So we usually start students out with our free web apps that are on our website that are designed for Makey Makey specifically. So you jump into an app. We have something like a buzzer, and I'm actually going to stop sharing this tab, and I will go share the apps here really quickly. So we have a number of apps that are from a piano app all the way to an alarm. So if you wanted to make a burglar alarm with a Makey Makey, you can. An audio sampler. This interactive poster app is essentially, it's a very stripped down version of any slide deck or PowerPoint type project, but it's designed to be able to be controlled with Makey Makey. Even a Make a Sketch. So in our version of an Etch-a-Sketch. So there are about 30 different games, productive apps, challenges, things like that, all the way even a dice roller. So if you wanted to figure out how to play Dungeons and Dragons and roll a dice with Makey Makey, you can do that as well. I'm actually going to pull this one up because it's probably one of the easiest to show. Is that I can choose how many dice I want. So I'm going to roll 2 6-sided dice. And now the roll key, this roll button, is actually attached to my space bar. So I can hook up a Makey Makey really quickly. And I don't know if you can see me in the screen at the same time. Magnus, can you see me in the screen at the same time?
I can see the presentation and you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if I go back to the dice app and I can hit space bar, I can roll the dice.
Ah, cool. But I can't see the dice.
Ah, here, let's share this tab. There, how about that one? There.
Ah, that's awesome.
Yeah. It's a really simple, it's a single key app. It's connected to the space bar. And then if I go back, we can do another quick, and then we have a game, and I will load this. And I'll share this really quickly because it's another good single key app. And we were playing this at set actually. So this game and jumps on spacebar. So I can play this game by just touching and me being the thing that completes the circuit. Or if I pause this, I can actually use some alligator clips and some Play-Doh. So I have Play-Doh here. And I will move this to my overhead camera. So here's the Makey Makey.
Huh?
An alligator clip connected to some Play-Doh. And I'm just going to stick that in there. And then another alligator clip that I'm going to click to space. And if I hold on to this alligator clip, I can just touch the Play-Doh to control that. So I can go back to the game, hit play again. Now every time that I touch the Play-Doh, it's the same as hitting the space bar. So that's our introduction, because students can then just use Makey Makey, invent their controller, go find a game that's free. And then the next step up is using something like Scratch, which is a free programming environment for kids, or Microsoft also used a product called MakeCode Arcade, which is building arcade games that we have a plugin for Makey Makey on both of those to make it easy to use. the next level up is building programmable hardware to control the Makey Makey in your game. And that's where the Makey backpack comes in. Let me remove.
So what you mean is that you can make your own games and then you can control them with the things, the
Correct.
physical thing that you build.
Yes. Yes. And that's what we just have found, that educationally speaking, it's a lot easier to work in software or hardware. It gets really difficult to be teaching programming and circuit building at the same time in terms of hardware and software, and it gets overwhelming. And so we like to get kids working and building their own games, and then we pause and we go build our own controller. And then, or if we build our own controller, we go find a piece of software that's already made. And I'm going to change my camera. And that's where when we mix and we combine hardware and software into a single product is the Makey backpack. And what the Makey backpack is that it's a backpack that enables me to program control of the Makey Makey with the BBC microbit. So this is our Makey backpack. And it plugs onto the back of the Makey Makey just like normal. I can actually take this and I'll plug it into the backpack or into the Makey Makey. And it turns itself on. So it's now connected to power, and it needs a microbit, which I put somewhere. There it is. And the microbit slides into the edge connector. So it's just like any other accessory board for the microbit. Plugs in, and now I have control, or I can program the microbit using Microsoft MakeCode to control the Makey Makey, and then have keyboard and mouse controls using programmable hardware with the microbit. I'm going to do a really quick demonstration of MakeCode. When we get to this level, this is where it kind of falls apart in terms of demonstrating on camera and it controlling things. But I did want to show just how easy it is to program the microbit to control Makey Makey with the Makey backpack here. So I'm going to share my screen again and go to Microsoft MakeCode. And if you've never used it before, it's an amazing program environment for programming the microbit. It's all block based, and so it's drag and drop and designed for younger students. Microsoft MakeCode. I'm going to add the Makey Makey extension, or the Makey extension. So I'm just going to search for Makey Makey. It's right there. I can click on it to add those blocks. So now I have a quick program that whatever happens on start, and then a loop for forever. So I'm going to bring in just one block to get the Makey Makey started, and that's initialize Makey Makey. And then forever, actually, it's when I have something, let's say when I shake the project. So I'm going to, when I shake this whole controller, I want it to press a key. So I'm going to have it press and release the W key. So now anytime that I do that or shake the Makey Makey, it will press the W key. So we'll add movement with the microbit is what we're doing. And then all I have to do is plug it in to the microbit. And I can just hit download. It'll download straight to the microbit.
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna try this. So we're gonna play that. Use the dice or the that runner game again. We're gonna try to play it with the shake here. So I'm gonna change the camera here in a moment. So we can stop sharing this. We're gonna share runner. We've seen this before. And then you should be able to see the coded key here.
Yes, we do.
Okay. So now as I'm playing, I'll go hit play. pause. I'm going to change this from space to the W key. Now, if I shake this, Carl should jump. So now I've programmed this hardware. I've programmed the hardware. If this was a game I made or designed, it would be something that I would have programmed myself. And so that is all of the Makey Makey, the backpack bundle, and the Makey backpack in terms of a quick demonstration. Just didn't know if there were any questions. Magnus, do we have any questions?
No questions so far, but I have a question.
Yeah.
Or not a question, but a remark when it comes to the microbit. I know that this is just valid for the version 2 and higher.
It will work with version 1 and 2.
Okay.
It's limited. The only limitation is some of the sensors are a little different on version 2 than version 1. So if you're wanting to use, for example, the microphone, it's only on version 2.
Okay. Right. Well, thank you. This was very, very interesting.
No problem. Anytime.
So we covered now the ground set for Makey Makey and the 12 pack for classes, and also the craft packages. And then we looked at the backpack that you can make games for 2 persons, and you can double it up. And then we also looked into the Makey Key when you can use make code to make program and use also the sensors in the microbit to control the Makey Makey.
Went through a lot in half an hour.
Yeah, and what's your take on this? Is if you've been using like Makey Makey for a long time, you work with the kids in the 3rd, 4th grade. What should you go for? Should you go for the backpacks or for the coder key?
So for younger students, we definitely recommend just working with Makey Makey on its own and then getting into backpacks. One of the reasons that we like backpacks with younger students is that it keeps these the headers on the back. Younger students tend to be a little rough with it, and sometimes these break off. And so the backpacks, when they're plugged in, actually protect that and then make everything alligator clippable as well. So it's just a more rugged assembly at that point.
Okay, right. I think this will make like a renaissance for people who've been using Makey Makey for a while and think, I know this, but the kids, it's new, but this is also nothing new for me. I think that's a nice thing to give them.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Kids. Anything else you wanted to share?
No, it's just that we're always coming out with new things. Check out our website for different curriculum, different projects, things like that you can do in the classroom, and new products as they come out. So that's the main thing.
Yeah, and one thing more, it's very easy to find the different projects because if you're one way to go into Makey Makey and one for the backpacks. So different paths into the web page. Well, thank you very, very, very much, Derek. And until we see you next time, have a great one.
Thank you, Magnus.
So I'm going to break this now and I'll get back to you.
Okay, sounds good.